Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here live with me. If you are at home right now, I'm glad you're joining me. If you're on Instagram right now, I'm glad you're joining me. If you are on Facebook, I'm going to be able to see your comments and share them up on the screen. So if you are on Facebook, I hope that you will give me a shout. Tell me where you're at. Those of you on Instagram, I see Sanford's here. Sheila's here. Hi, hi, hi. Glad you guys are here. If you're on Facebook, please throw a comment up in the chat so that I can see that you're here. Tell me where you're at and where you're from. I'm really excited to talk to you today because I know many of us are stuck at home or happily at home, and it can feel distancing, and there's a slew of feelings that can come up right now. Hi, Megan. I'm just saying hi to people as they're here. If you are joining me, hi, Francis. Francis says hi. If you are joining me on Facebook, please throw a comment into the chat. Let me know where you are. Francis is saying hi from LA. Glad she's here. And if you are Instagram, I'm so glad that you're here too. If you want to join us in the conversation on Facebook, just click the link in my bio or in my stories, and you'll join us here. This is going to be a conversation to set us up so that we can have some perspective around this moment in time, this very uncertain, confusing, disorienting moment right now, so that we can see what's going on and how to help us through this moment. I wanted to say hi to everybody here. Glad you're here. So glad you're here. If you're on Facebook and you want to be part of the conversation, or if you're on Instagram and you want to be part of the conversation on Facebook, just click the link in my bio, or go to Brian's Breakfast Club on Facebook, or you can click the link in my stories and you'll join us over here. So wherever you are, I'm glad you're joining me. Allison's here, and Kaylee is here, and Paige, and Natalie. Hopefully you guys are able to see these beautiful faces up here. I wanted to just celebrate you all being here and taking some time out of your day, wherever you are. Someone says, I look familiar. Who's that? Hi from the UK. Yay. I'm going to invite you. If you click the link, I can show your face up there. You have to click that link in there if you're up there. So I'm glad you're here. So let's talk a bit, shall we? Let's talk about what's going on. Oh, wait, Matthew is here saying hi. Matthew, thank you for sending me your headshots this morning. There's Mr. Crabtree. Hey, Matt, how are you? So glad you're here. Okay, so glad you're here. I made a little list of things I wanted to talk about, but before we even start, I want to ask you to kind of step out of being connected into this moment and connect with yourself and write into the chat right now in this very moment at 12:03 on Wednesday, March 18th, 2020, one thing that you know that you are grateful for. Throw that into the chat and pull into yourself and find that thing that is true that you can truthfully say, I am grateful for this right now. And throw that into the chat so we can see what people are saying here. One thing that you absolutely know about yourself that you are grateful for right now, that you cannot deny. Sharon says hi. Elizabeth, beautiful. Beautiful. Matt is saying his health. Daria says life. I can say for myself, one thing that I'm grateful for is I'm grateful to know that there's enough food in my refrigerator for a few days, and that was able to afford that food 5 days ago. Sharon says our friendship, beautiful. Friendships and family, beautiful. My family. Jamie says her family, great. You are all here, beautiful. These are really great reactions. What else? Health. Garen says health. It's okay if we hear repeats here. This isn't about being unique. This is about being true to yourself. What do you actually feel in this moment? For those of you who are my cats, I'm grateful for nature, that I'm alive. These are beautiful. Over here, I'm getting on Instagram. Great, beautiful. So I'm going to come back to Facebook here. John is grateful for his health. I'm grateful for your health too, guys. I'm really grateful for everyone's ability to be here, the privilege of being here. I want to be aware of that. Adina is grateful to her family. So right now, what I think is interesting / difficult is many of us are very lucky and privileged to be pretty safe right now. And what I mean by safe is safe from this virus. Meaning we are keeping ourselves safe. We are self-quarantining, or we are sheltering at home, right? In that amount of safeness. And we probably have a little bit of food in our refrigerator. But there's also many people on the call today who might be worried about where their next paycheck is coming from, or what's going to be next for them once this thing is done. and where is this going to go. I'm grateful for my running partner. That is such a cute one. I love that. I love that so much. That's terrific. Extra time to connect with loved ones. I'm aware of that too. So while some of us may feel pretty good about, how to take care of ourselves, at least in this moment, I kept on having this gnawing question for myself, and I'll just speak to myself for myself for a moment and see what this brings up in you, which is, I might be on my computer or eating dinner, and I'll have this question come up that goes, but wait, am I doing the right thing right now? Should I be doing something else? Am I doing the right thing for my health? Am I allowed to go outside? Can I get the mail? I have this like of anxiety just fly through me really quickly. And then my logical reaction to that is often to grab for the news, because my hope is that the news is going to tell me I'm doing the right thing. And the reason why it was so important to me to kind of connect someone is at my door. I'm going to just see what's happening. You guys, hang on a second. Thanks. It was FedEx. We're just going to let FedEx do their thing. Okay. So, is to run to the news. And what I'm finding for so many of us is that the news is not helping us. The news is helping us stay aware, but it's not helping us soothe the desire to take care of ourselves. So, I wanted to walk through a few things to help you during this time. So first of all, I understand that right now it feels a little bit like you're in a waiting room, or you are maybe you are having a snow day. People have used that analogy too, because you're kind of stuck at home and you can't leave. And I would like to know, just to get us started, what are some of you guys doing out there? What are you doing out there to keep yourself engaged and entertained? I'm sure Netflix is like a big one, and I would love if you're gonna, rather than say Netflix, tell us what you're watching, because we're all looking for that next thing to watch right now. So throw into the chat, what are you doing right now to entertain yourselves? Part of what I wanted to talk about today is that we are driven towards stimulus and to be connected. And so without having the ability to have that connection right now, we're going to jump to the TV. We're going to jump to getting online, all that stuff. Matt Crabtree's watching episodes. What else is anybody else watching? I just finished The Outsider. I was obsessed with it. I started watching The Case for America last night. I think that's it. The Case Against America last night. Philip Roth show. I would love to hear what else people are watching. So let me give you I promised you some ways to be productive and creative during this time. So I'm going to get there. Matt is cleaning out his taxes, so let me get into that stuff now. So during this time, if we can see this as a gift, there is space for us to, Little Fires Everywhere, someone just said that is my mom just watched that. It takes place in Shaker Heights, which is where I'm from, so I'm going to check that out. Look at all this, look at all this, look at all this. I love this. I love these answers. I'm just populating the screen with them. Nadira is committing every day to brushing up on her guitar skills. I love that. Love that so much. These are great answers, you guys. Beautiful. Walking. I'm going to commit to walking today. I'm going to commit in front of you guys that I'm going to walk today. Okay, so let me help you a little bit with this productivity and creativity question. So first of all, I need to make sure you hear this right now. It is okay to do nothing. There is no shame in sitting still. And I think that this moment is actually calling on many of us to go, if I removed everything in the world and I made it about you having to be at home or sit still, what comes up for you? And so rather than fill that space with just running around like crazy, I encourage you to go inward. And going inward can look like a lot of things for us. That can look like prayer for some of you. That can look like meditation. It can look like journaling. But just noticing, what does it bring up in me when productivity is not an option? And I can say for myself, I can become very disoriented. I can suddenly not know who I am without knowing what I have to do. That'll happen at first, and then if I can lean into being okay with being slightly disoriented, I'll suddenly find myself making brownies in the kitchen. Or I'll suddenly find myself saying yes to something that my partner wants to do that might not be on the top of my list. So I want you to just encourage you to think about when you are driven to productivity, if you took productivity as a non-option, once you get past that disorientation phase, what's newly available to you? And this for me, this really relates to something that's in A Course in Miracles, which I think most of you know that I'm on training to be a reverend. But in A Course in Miracles, one of the lessons, my favorite lessons is, I do not know my own best interests. So we tend to think that by walking towards what we think we need to do, we will get exactly what we want, or our happiness will be granted. And that takes the universe's hands off the case, right? So I'm wanting to encourage you to be available to sit still. So I love this one. This says, it's almost debilitating when productivity is not an option. It's hard for me to not do something productive somehow. And I want to just unpack this because that is what's being asked of you in this moment. It's to be debilitated is being asked of you. And our brothers and sisters who have chronic illnesses, who are at home all the time, many of them are like, it's finally, you guys are catching up with what this is like for us sometimes. Not that they can't ever do anything. I want to make sure that's very clear. But many of them are really, we're getting a new understanding about that. So when you are debilitated from productivity, what becomes available to you? And is it a book you haven't read? Is it a show you haven't watched? Is it, for me, I know that it's going to be, there's some artwork that is sitting on the floor in my bedroom, and I'm like, this needs to be hung up. This is the time I'm going to hang it up, right? And I love what Daria said here. Stillness breeds an open heart. So first I wanted to take that you must be productive off the shelf, because now I'm going to talk about doing stuff, but I really wanted to give space to, it's okay for this to be full on home vacation. Full on, I'm going to be in my pajamas all day. I'm going to watch TV. I'm not even going to open the door all day. That's going to be my life. You're allowed to have that be your life right now. My wish for you is that you'll also turn back the mirror at least and say, what else is this bringing out for me just to be still? It's bringing up, I could use a little bit more of this in my day-to-day life. Hi, those of you on Facebook or Instagram, if you wanted to join us, we are over here on Facebook. Glad you're here. So it's bringing up maybe that I can move at a different pace in my life and I still get as much stuff done, right? It offers this new step. So I want to shelf productivity for a second. And then I want to say, it's also, you're allowed to use this hibernation phase to get a lot of stuff done if that's going to get you excited. So I want to talk about being productive as well, if that it calls to you. What I don't want to do is say that productivity is the only answer. I want both to be options. So in terms of productivity right now, if it was not the coronavirus, let's just go use our imagination for a second. If it was not the coronavirus, and I said to you, I'm going to stop the world for 3 days so you can get some things done, I'm a bet you're going to have a lot of people you're going to feel pretty excited. Right? Like if you can imagine that, look at what's up. And then Nadira is saying how she can be, so great, these are great answers. So I want to just get into this productivity thing for a second with you guys. Okay, so you've been given a work hibernation, a time to just like, I can dig into my stuff. So a lot of my people who are on here, I know you're my creative hearts out there. And I know for you, you have a life force in you that wants to express itself all the time. And right now it's like, what am I going to do? Put on a puppet show for my roommate, right? Like, what am I doing with myself? So my encouragement here is to let your creativity look like whatever it's going to look like. If you call yourself an actor, if you call yourself a writer, if you call yourself a painter, during this time, your creativity might look like deciding where you're going to hang the pictures on the wall. Your creativity might look like rearranging the furniture. Your creativity might look like making brownies. I use my mom as a model here because my mother is super creative and her creativity exists almost entirely in the way that she decides to do things around the house. Where she's rearranging furniture, all of a sudden she's painting a piece of furniture, she's decided to paint her bedroom. It leaks everywhere. So what I'm wanting to encourage you is to give yourself a permission slip to be creative in any way. That right now, don't box yourself into what your calling might be. All right? I want to give you that permission slip so that it can be in whatever way what's expressed. And those of you who are at home who aren't able to do your jobs, I believe that everyone is creative. And right now, you're getting a little itchy because you're wanting to do something too. So give yourself the space to say, you know what, I'm going to clean out my drawers. I love it. I just want to do that right now. That's why I'm going to clean things up around here, right? And another thing that I want to offer to you is if you are feeling like you want to be productive in the world that is your calling, like you're an actor, you're a writer, you're a stand-up comedian, or you're a painter, whatever it is. Right now you've been given the gift of ain't nobody going to be bugging you. You don't have to go to this social outing. You're not going on a date. All the excuses that get in the way are no longer available to you. So once you're free of those distractions, how do you now step into this? And my encouragement to you is you can have the choice to just get by in this moment, but I'm wanting you to dwell in that butterfly mentality. So the way that I think about this is, and this is, you've heard this metaphor a million times, which is caterpillars always turn into butterflies. It's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you get it. But we've all seen a caterpillar turn into a butterfly. We understand that. The part we forget, the caterpillar doesn't know. The caterpillar has not seen another caterpillar turn into a butterfly. It just knows it has to go into that cocoon and then it comes out the other side. So there is an amount of faith and trust being asked for right now that if you take some action during this time, or if you sit still during this time, there is a metamorphosis on the other end. So my request to you is, if you feel like being productive, if you're an actor right now, I know that you've got a database that could use some attention. I know it, I know it, I know it. I know that if you're a writer right now, you have got some writing to do. That probably can be inspired by this, of the number of times in history that this has happened before. If you're a painter right now, please give me a still life, right? So I really want to encourage you to say yes to what's there. Nadira says, preach. So for those of you who are here and who may have been inspired already by something I've said, or you've already got inspiration you're sitting on, can you commit to something in front of God, Buddha, Yahweh, Oprah, and everyone on this call, to one thing that you are going to do or not do? Can you commit to one thing in the chat right now? Just say it out loud so that you can commit to it here. You know, I'm wanting to watch Netflix all the time, but I just have this gnawing desire to write that thing, that sketch I've been thinking about for so long. Can you commit to something? Write it here in the chat so that I can share it with everyone and we can witness it for you and hold you accountable. So that's my excitement for your accountability right now, your productivity is now is the time. It is, the world is hibernating so that you can step into this, step into having gotten something done while you didn't miss a beat. There's nothing to miss outside. You're not missing out. There's no FOMO right now. The missing out right now would be on you missing out time with yourself. This is FOMO of not being with you. I want to make that really clear. Okay? So I want to hear what you guys are committing to. Put that in the chat. Now, I want to talk about a few other things that I wanted to offer to you. One is, it is a great time to collaborate. It is a great time to collaborate if you're feeling like you want to do that, right? So to me, I'm trying to post this comment. Yeah, there we go. Where was that comment? There. Neil saying hi. Matt's putting right as new. Great. Okay. So it's a great time to collaborate because people are out there. They are wanting to collaborate and connect with other people. So I'm going to give you guys a link at the end of this. It's like my link of all the resources I've compiled so that you can connect with each other. And there's financial resources in there. There's take care of yourself, entertainment kind of stuff resource. There's resources for the entertainment business. I know some people who've created a short film festival that is the Coronavirus Short Film Festival, people making them at home. I'm sharing a link to that for you. Financial support as well. So I want to give you that link in a few minutes, but I want to just share some of these things people are doing because I think they're so great. Look at some of these things we've got here. Let me share this with you. John is doing it. He's doing the heavy lifting here. He's going to work on his database. Courtney's creating content for her YouTube channel. Let's see here. Elizabeth is writing and acting. Elizabeth, I'd love to hear how you're acting. Allison's working on some music. Read some books and stop watching the news. Thank you, John. We all can take a page from you. Nadira's got a big thing. She's going to commit to writing in her journal. La, la, la. I'm going to get rid of some of these so you guys can see them. I'm just trying to share them so we can celebrate these big ones. This is terrific, right? I'm using this really fun software called Ecamm, you guys. It's really lovely. So, committed to sending thank yous for my last booking. Oh, Summer, I love this. Great. Thank yous are going to feel really good. Alette, I love what she's doing, and I want to encourage many of you to think about this. She's doing 30 scenes in 30 days, but not just 30 scenes. She's doing 30 medical scenes in 30 days. She's going to put them on tape. Look at this. Natalie is committed to figuring out how to actually creating an online platform for you to work to have income. I love this. There's no better time for you to spend on that. Memorize my lines for my solo show. I love this. Okay, you guys are making some great commitments here. Jamie's going to sing and sing and sing. Beautiful. I love this. Such great commitments. Okay, so you witnessed it here. These comments are going to live forever. We're going to be able to hold you accountable to these things, right? So the collaboration, I want to talk about that. You have seen there are a bunch of people on this call. There's 33 right now. People are looking to collaborate in these times. So my encouragement around you is when you make it easy, when you make it, You have to create a reason to collaborate. So what I mean by that is saying things like, who wants to work with me on a Facebook post is not going to get anybody to say yes. Be daring. Ask someone on an artist date, whether that's a Zoom date. I'm actually going to give you, in the link I'm going to share with you guys, you can get Zoom for free, some of their services right now. Create a Zoom date with someone. Say, hey, do you want to collaborate with me? Ask a very specific person to collaborate with you for a specific reason, as opposed to anyone. Does that make sense to you? Because we all want to feel special. And when you invite a specific person to the table, it feels so much better to them, right? So if there's somebody you've thought about working with in the past, now is the time to go out and reach out to them and say, hey, I'm looking to work with someone right now. I'm looking to do something with you because you have this skill, or I like what you've done in the past. So now is the time to ask for specific partnerships and collaborations using Zoom, using FaceTime, making it simple to connect with them. Again, I'm going to give you that link to Zoom with some of their free services to help you right now. One more thing, a few more things I want to talk about. I've talked about wanting your heart and your mind and your body to be calm during this time period. I can say for myself, I am frightened of going to the gym right now. So I'm not. Obviously, many of us aren't. So I am going for a walk with my man later today. We've committed to going for a walk, and it's a long walk, and I can be a real annoying person after about 35 minutes on a walk, but I'm going to commit to it and say yes to it because I want to spend time with my man and because I want to move my body. So when it comes to the mind, body, heart connection right now, lots of people are talking about meditation. If you are someone who meditates, you get it. Or if you've meditated in the past, you get it. If you're not, it may feel like, oh, am I supposed to do this too in the middle of all this? My encouragement to you is just think about it as sitting there for 5 minutes and breathing. I'm just going to sit still and breathe for 5 minutes. It really can take some of the pressure off of the word meditation. I'm also giving you a link that has the Calm app. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's a meditation app. It has a free offering right now during COVID-19, so I'm going to encourage you to take a look at that as well. So meditation has helped a lot of people during this time. For me, meditation looks like I stand in the doorway over here before I walk into my office, and I say to myself, how do I want to feel today? And then I say, how do I want the people I'm going to interact with to feel today? That really helps me, right? There you go. Love that, Nadira. Thank you for saying that. Annoying brother, sister here. I totally get it. Are you saying, or when you're saying that, Daria, I'm assuming you mean you needed meditation to get away from the annoying people around you? Blake loves the Calm app. Great, you guys, I'm going to share this thing with the Calm app. Okay. And then I want to talk a little bit about, I don't have oh, yes, Daria, my partner's working from home and I'm disciplining myself. What I want to tell you guys, my partner works from home as well. He's all the way down the other end of the house. And it is very hard not to just say, let's get in our pajamas and watch TV. We both work from home, so I'm a little more used to it. But I totally get that. So if anyone's having a challenge that you want to voice, that you don't know how to deal with, I want to open up the chat for speak your challenge. Here's what I'm stuck on, because I want to respond to it. I want to be able to help you with that. And I want to see if other people are connecting the dots on any challenge. So I think you're faced with whatever's being on your brain the most. I want to hear about that right now. And then I want to talk about basically forecasting. So what I mean by that is I don't have a crystal ball, but I have lived through some life, and I was in New York City on September 11th, and I'm sure there are other people here who were part of that, who knew that. I'm just sharing these comments so you guys can see them. And what happened on September 11th was not the same as what's happening right now. I'm not trying to use that I'm trying to use a different piece of the analogy, so I want to be very clear and very respectful of that. But the day after September 11th, on September 12th, everyone behaved differently. Everyone behaved as though they'd just gotten out of a meditation class. Their hearts were open. You met people's eyes on the sidewalk. You cared for people without knowing them. I think Brené Brown talks about the reason you go to church is to shake hands with people you would never talk to remind yourself of our interconnectedness as human beings. I believe that we will have that watershed moment at the end of COVID-19. I believe we will have that innate human, organic, natural instinct to want to connect because we can again, because it is encouraged again. So in this time of either hibernation and being with yourself or hibernation and getting things done, know that that is the metamorphosis of the butterfly. We are leading towards a land where people are going to be driven to connect and to be with each other. So that not only can that inspire you in the now, it can also inspire what it is you're doing with this time. So if you are a writer who's going to hunker down and do some writing, there will be a day when I believe more offices will be open to hearing your pitch. There will be a day when more people are going to take a look at your writing because we are driven to see that connection again. If you're an actor, there is going to be a day when managers and agents will be taking more meetings again, and glad to take meetings because they get to take their natural human, American in this point right to meet with people. So those days are coming for us. And so I'm just wanting you to be able to live towards that, to know where we're headed, if that makes sense to you. All right? I want to just share a few things that people have been said. The team I've been working with are going live right now, which is amazing because we are an amazing team. Even though our work situation is up in the air, we'll be looking at what they're doing after this live. 911 Live was such a connected time for me as well. Beautiful. And then Nadir, whose birthday is September 12th. How incredible. I'm sure it was an incredible birthday party, Nadir, because it was such a special time. Hearts were so open. So I'm wanting us to, in my forecasting, the reason why I'm saying that is to kind of think ahead about who we're going to be at the end of this, who we're going to be on the other side of this as a people, not just as an individual. I think sometimes when we get cloudy or muddy in this time frame, it's because we are focused on who we are being and not who the collective is being. And this isn't to take away our care for each other and all that. So before I end down, Daria, I'm going to speak to you as a student in my Agent Goals program separately. So I'm going to speak to the general public now, and then I'll speak to you separately in the Agent Goals group in a second. Just sidebar, parenthetical statement. If those of you who are here are in my Agent Goals program, I got you. I can't wait to get started on the 24th. So I want to share a link with everyone. It's a link I've collected with all of the juicy resources that I found during the time. I'm going to pop that into the chat. I have to go over to Facebook, so hang on 1 second, you guys. Let me go over there. It's weird. I'm going to see myself talking at the same time that I'm doing this. Okay, I'm popping this into the chat. That document is a big document, and it's got a bunch of different resources for you guys. If you want to click on that, and if you have other things to share with me, please email me because I'll add them to that. I'm hoping to create a great resource. And it's not just a resource to be like, let's have a great list. My hope is that you'll go down that list and take a look at some of the great things here. So before I log off, is there any question anyone has? Let me see what Natalia says. She's got a long message here. I want to read it. Let's see what it says. Let's see. My challenge is all of my work, fitness and acting, is about human connection and interaction. I thrive off being with people and helping people and creating participation in connection. It's just as painful, if not more painful, to not have that as it is not to have income. I hear that. I need to write. I've been told for years and told to just write 5 minutes a day and haven't done it. I need to pack because we're moving this summer. I need to read and learn and spend time with my kiddos. But I've been spending every second trying to figure out how to be better with social media and learn how to be better with tech so I can try to find my virtually online da-da. I hear what you're saying. So, Natalie, I hear it's almost like I've got so many choices of things that I can do. So it's a paralysis of having too many choices. So my wish for you, and this is I'm going to give you a simple one. I would love you to do this, and everybody can do this one. This is a good one. It's called the Post-it note test. You take out a Post-it note, and on that Post-it note, you're allowed to write the one thing that if you get done that day, it will have been a day you're proud of. And it could mean pay your electric bill. But at the end of the day, that Post-it note, this is not very good for trees, but at the end of that day, that Post-it note gets to go in the trash. Or my favorite is actually to create a board where you keep all these Post-it notes and you say, look at my past month or my past 7 days of what I've gotten done. So it is also somewhat kind of the Pomodoro technique where you choose, if I got one thing done and I'd be proud of it, what is the one thing? So I want to try to use that during this time. Neil said he's trying to work on a play, finding it very hard to concentrate. I hear you, Neil. Nice to connect with you, Neil, too. So what I want to say to you, Neil, it is selfish for you not to write that play. We need stories of human beings in human condition right now. So get your butt in the seat and sweat it out and write the words. Do the 48 minutes working, 12 minutes off. Use the Pomodoro technique of 20 minutes. I get that it's hard to concentrate right now. Maybe move your body. I always find that if I can't concentrate, if I can move my body around, it will change the energy inside me. And there's some sacredness needed. I would say maybe walk yourself through okay, I've been in my mundane world, I've been doing my day-to-day. It's time for me to write. I'm going to put on that baseball hat, or I'm going to sit in that chair over there. When I sit in that chair over there, I'm a writer. Some degree of conditioning for your body, some degree of sacredness to stepping into that. I'm really glad you said this, Neil. I hope you heard that in the tone with which I meant it, which is we need you right now. Let me see what else here. Listen to that post-it tag. Alette really loves the post-it. I'm so glad Alette said that. Great. Yay, Natalie. Nadira. Great. I love this. I love this. I love this. So check out the link I sent you with all that free stuff. I've been here for about 30 minutes. I want to get you guys back into your day. Check out that link. Go for a walk. Call your mama. Wash your hands. And know that you are enough right now. You are creative, resourceful, and whole. Your being here on this call says that you are willing to do more, be more, and you know that this moment is steeped with possibility and you're willing to say yes to that. Let your yes be as big as a ticker tape parade and as small as washing your hands. Do not judge yourself for your feelings during this time. That's my biggest wish for you. That while you may be going through it and you're really thinking about what's next, what I don't want you to do is also judge yourself for not doing enough, for not being enough. Right now, at least make space for you to know that you are enough. Thank you so much for being here today. And I love you. I hope you're doing really great. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.